Why am I showing you two apples? Well, because we're going to compare diamonds to diamonds and apples to apples today. Let's go.
It's Margarita Skypin, and you're in another episode of lab-grown diamonds. I've already talked about lab-grown diamonds in one of my episodes, and the link will be right here if you want to know the pros and the cons for the lab-grown diamonds. In this video, we're going to keep our discussion a little bit different. First of all, let's talk about what happened in our industry, because everyone is talking about lab-grown diamonds. And I don't want to make this video another lab-grown diamonds episode like everyone else, but I just want to say a couple of things that have quite changed since 2022 when I made my last video about lab-grown diamonds. My name is Margarita Skypin, as all of you know, and I'm a leading gemologist at both of our companies, Miami Jewels and Magnones. Today, I want to explain what is happening in our jewelry industry as everyone is shifting towards lab-grown diamonds, why this is happening, and what have actually led to this crazy explosion of lab-grown diamonds. Let's go. So, let's start with the fact why this is happening in our industry. As most of you know, GIA, which is the Gemological Institute of America, certifies a lot of the natural diamonds. And actually in the world, it is the most trusted source of a certificate for any diamond. So when we have clients, most of them ask for a GIA certificate, and that is the right thing to do. In most of my videos, I say that if you can, get a GIA certificate, even if you are told you can get any other. Any local certificate is great, but the best one is GIA. They are the strictest in terms of their clarity and color and cut, and they have multiple gemologists for some of the certificates. So the most trusted certificate in the world is GIA. That's no brainer. And so they have always certified natural diamonds. Up until I believe a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, I don't know my stats, but they have started certifying lab-grown diamonds, and the game have changed in our industry because many people trust GIA. So I think with them being in our industry, it inevitably became that lab-grown diamonds were to be trusted because they joined, and they're huge and they have a world name and their reputation is great. So once they joined the lab-grown diamond wagon, we have had an amazing amount of orders. Clients that have always said, I will never buy lab-grown, I'm always going to buy only natural diamonds, have called me saying, you know what, I'm going to try lab-grown. And to be honest with you, we did not expect it. As online stores, as jewelry stores, personally, we didn't expect such a big flow of orders for lab-grown diamonds. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, I can't say that I was super for them, because one of the biggest reasons for me personally was the factor that you can't trade the diamond back in. You can't come back and tell me you want to change anything. So for me, the factor that you had to buy a diamond and sort of stay with it was a little bit uncomfortable. And with my clients, it was the same way, because, you know, we have a lot of repeat clients. And in fact, most of my clients are just repeat clients. We get new ones all the time, of course, but I have a whole bunch of loyal clients that we serve their families, cousins, and that's probably for everyone in the industry. Most jewelry, you know, once you get trusted jeweler, you try to pass it on to your family. So it was a tough decision to explain to them that yes, I can make a ring for you and it's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 carats, but at the same time, you're staying with that ring, you're staying with that diamond. And I have mentioned in my last video with pros and cons of lab-grown diamonds that, you know, with most of my clients, we ended up getting an engagement ring. Let's say they wear it for a year or 2. And believe it or not, a lot of clients want to upgrade quite fast after the engagement. We've seen it all the time. So they get a 1 carat, they get married, they come back and they don't know what to do with that 1 carat. And being a lab grown, we can't do much. We don't take it back. We're not going to trade it in. So what we ended up doing for most of our clients is we ended up making jewelry, as I mentioned in my other video, you know, making earrings, making other pendants, just so that you keep that stone and, you know, it's you're able to wear it. But for a lot of our clients, that was also kind of scary. The fact that you have to buy a stone and kind of marry into it and just, you know, you can't do much with it later was a bit scary. So Anyways, I don't want to go into that topic too much, but I do want to say that ever since the beginning of the lab grown era, it has increased tremendously. We get so many more orders right now for lab grown diamonds. It is insane. I don't think a lot of jewelers believed in lab grown diamonds so much, or believed that they will be on the market for this long and that people would love them this much. But this brings me to why is this happening? I already said that the GIA joined this wagon and they now certify lab grown diamonds, which makes it a lot easier to trust the GIA certificate with lab grown diamond, as they have exactly the same properties as any GIA certificate with their cut and clarity, and they state that it's lab grown. So selling GIA diamonds has been quite easy with the GIA certificate. So that's, having said that, that's not the only certificate on the market. We also have others, but it's just, ever since they've joined, I would say that the people that believe in GIA, or the people that always knew that GIA is to be trusted, those skeptical ones kind of started being able to, get more inclined to buy a lab grown diamond. Even the ones, like I said, that said we will never buy it, have started calling me with orders. The biggest question is, why are people buying these lab grown diamonds? And would you? And I can tell you 100% right now, I am for lab grown diamonds for a lot of families and a lot of my clients, because their needs are amazing for what lab grown diamond can do for you. It is cheap. I don't want to say cheaper than natural diamond, because there's no comparison. The thousands of dollars that you would spend into natural diamonds and the fraction of that you would spend into lab grown, it's just, you can't compare the two anymore, because you can probably afford 4 rings for the price of 1 when it comes to natural. So they are cheap in the sense that now you can afford a 1 carat, a 2 carat, a 3 carat, whatever you dreamed of, or whatever the size that you want. It is all of a sudden affordable, right? And you can take a look at some of the beautiful design engagement rings and diamond rings and jewelry and earrings that we sell in our store. If you follow the links below, we sell on Etsy and 1stDibs, and our stores do have lab grown diamonds, especially on Etsy, not on 1stDibs, because 1stDibs does not allow you to sell lab grown diamonds as of yet. So, now, if you ever wanted a 2 carat and thought it was impossible, you can all of a sudden buy a 2 carat, and it is possible, because with the lab grown you can afford it. That's number 1 reason why a lot of clients are inclined to buy it. Number 2 reason why they buy it is because you're not afraid if you lose it, simply because it's not as expensive. Of course, it still has some money to it, but it's not as scary as losing a $30,000 or $40,000 ring as losing a $5,000 ring. Number 3, a lot of my clients, they mix and match. So for example, for engagement ring, they might actually go with a natural diamond. But then for earrings and for necklace, for bracelet, or for that tennis bracelet you wanted, you could always go with a lab grown. It's a lot cheaper, and it gives you that ability to have more accessories at an affordable price. So a lot of my clients have both. They have some natural diamonds and some lab grown. And the biggest reason with a lot of my clients actually became the fact that they can get playful with their jewelry. So those clients that thought, okay, I've always wanted that necklace with 40 carats, but I can't afford it. It would cost more than $100,000. Now I can, because with the lab grown diamond, you can actually afford that necklace you've always dreamed of. And at the same time, it's not going to make such a big dent in your pocket or in your budget. So a lot of my clients get playful. They can now afford to make that extra pair of earrings for New Year's, or that extra pair of dangling earrings they've always wanted to, but didn't want to spend those extra thousands into it. So you can really get playful with lab grown diamonds. And we have been doing a lot of funky work because clients can afford it, because of the affordability of the lab grown diamonds. So my conclusion is that if you're the type of person that doesn't really care, you just want that huge rock on your finger, go for it. We've already determined, and I'm sure you've seen all this video before you stumbled upon this one, that between a lab grown diamond and a natural diamond, there is no difference. Nobody can tell, not even me, not even any other gemologist. So if you sit there for hours and you have trained eyes, You could possibly, under microscope, after, like I said, a few hours, maybe find a difference between lab grown and natural. But that takes years of experience, expertise, and to know exactly what you're looking for. For a regular gemologist, even with 10 years plus experience, it is impossible to, even under microscope, to tell the difference between natural and lab grown diamond. They just simply have gone that good that at the end of the day, like I showed earlier, we're really comparing apples to apples. Look at these two apples. They're from two different places in the world, as per the packaging anyways, but they are from different places. They have some things around them, they're not perfect, but clearly if you're going to look at these two green apples, you can't tell which one is from where. They're just two green apples. It's the same thing with diamonds. You really can't tell. So if you want to go for that 3 or 4 or 5 carat, go for it. If you want to get that tennis bracelet you've always wanted to made with lab grown, go for it. If you wanted those earrings that you thought would cost you 20, 30,000 and your husband will always say no, go for it, because now it is likely that it's going to cost you 5, 6 or 7 grand, and that's affordable if you really want to get those earrings, you know, for New Year's party or whatever. So what am I going to tell you? Buy some lab grown diamonds, make some jewelry, stay happy, and don't worry about anything, because life is what? Life is a theater. It's Margarita Skypen, and you're on another episode of Should You Buy Lab Grown Diamonds or Not? And the answer is absolutely.